So you asked me how I've been.
Yeah.
Actually, now I can do close to 100 push-ups. I mean, when I first started trying to do push-ups, I was struggling to do 40.
Yeah.
This is like 2 years ago. And within 2 years' time, I've improved my muscle base.
Wow.
I'm actually gaining weight. For me, that's a lot because I run 14 to 20 miles every morning.
Yeah.
And for me to gain weight is incredible. Like, I was weighing like maybe 145, 147. And I have zero body fat right now,
Yeah.
which is like still having zero body fat, pretty close, not zero. I mean,
Yeah.
there's
You have to have some fat. Yeah.
I mean,
You
but
can
not any that you can see.
Yeah. Yeah.
But now I weigh like 153.
Wow.
So that means that I've probably gained about a good 8 pounds of muscle mass.
Wow. Wow.
Which
So,
is like,
what have you been eating? Been
but it's the
dieting?
same, no corpses,
No corpses.
vegetarian,
Awesome.
raw food diet.
Mostly vegan.
Yeah, mostly. It's hard to be complete because they stick that
Yeah.
stuff in everything.
Yeah.
And I try to eat as low salt and low sugar as possible.
Yeah.
But the thing I want to talk about is I've been talking to people since Donald Trump is becoming the president. And we're going into a whole new kind of world.
Yeah.
Most people don't even know what the word bionic really means. You know what it means.
I think so.
Okay, so what is bionic?
Bionic, is it the combination of human and machine?
Exactly,
Okay.
exactly. Good job. They're going to be facing a whole new kind of criminals on the street with their own kind of exoskeletons
Yeah.
and enhanced mental ability.
Like RoboCop.
Exactly, but made by just ordinary people. You know?
Yeah.
The funniest thing that I saw online was, I mean, it isn't funny, it's serious. This guy had lost his penis, and they actually took pieces from his body and fashioned him a flesh penis and connected the nerves into his brain so he can actually use it and have sensation.
Wow. That's
He didn't have
insane.
one before, but now he has a bionic penis that actually functions.
Wow.
So a lot of the advances are going to be with people that want enhanced sexual function.
Yeah.
Just like the internet got started with porn.
Well, can I tell you, I have this theory about how we might save the world in the near future. That there's going to be, well, virtual reality is coming online in a powerful way, right? Like, I haven't actually experienced it myself, but I've heard people who've experienced it. Like, this is like, real reality seems kind of gray and boring.
Where the
relative
virtual
to-
becomes terrestrial.
Yeah,
That's the way you say it.
yeah. And of course, one of the first ways to monetize virtual reality is going to be pornography, because that's what people are willing to pay for. And so I'm envisioning all of the highest testosterone men disappearing into pornographic virtual realities and just not coming back. We can be like, took care of that problem.
Just like the surge of Viagra, there's going to be a surge of bionic sexual functions, where
Wow.
people will create, their bionic experience to enhance their their personal pleasure.
Like the possibilities are just kind of blowing my mind right now.
Oh, I know.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. What were
That's-
things complicated enough to begin with? Jeez.
This is another part of this discussion. You're an attorney. So, I mean, you're going to, if you take on criminal cases, I mean, some of them, you might have to take them on as a public defender. Just to understand the mentality. There's young dudes that see all this blame.
Yeah.
Porsche cars,
Yeah.
Tesla cars, all this stuff. Special clothes, stuff that they can't get.
And our culture is telling everybody that you don't matter unless you have those things. You are irrelevant unless you drive those cars, unless you wear those clothes, unless you have that woman on your arm. And so it becomes a life and death thing in a way to get those
There's
things.
no way for them to accomplish it the
Yeah.
normal means.
Well, yeah, and then, there's I read a theory a few years ago that I think makes a lot of sense of why Islamic extremists are willing to kill them, like to risk their lives and actually voluntarily give their lives for their religion, and it's because Islam is the only major religion in the world today that's still practicing polygamy. Like that men can have multiple wives, and what that means systemically is you will always have a pool of young men who there is no partner for them. Like just because the 50-50 gender rate, I mean, it might swing a little bit, but you're going to have this pool of men who are cut off from the possibility having a normal
It
sexual
goes deeper
relationship.
than that.
And so
They don't want the Westerners, the Christians, those people to come over and enslave their women. That's the way they view Western culture, as the women are being taken. That's why they want to keep their women covered. That's why they practice Sharia law to control the women, so the women are there.
Yeah,
It's sort of like the reverse of the Ku Klux Klan.
well, and it's kind of like going back in time, hundreds, if not 1,000 years. I mean, their perspective on women is like very
It's sort of like the
backward.
Klan idea that the Klan doesn't want any
yeah.
other races
Mixing,
mixing
yeah.
with their pure white race,
Yeah.
because they don't want all these mulatto beings
It's
and
an idea of
the
racial
dilution.
purity.
Is
Yeah,
that the-
racial
is that
purity.
the word? The
Or
dilution
corruption.
of the white race.
Yeah.
It's the same thing. It's the same mentality among Islamics.
Yeah, because you know what? Because it's the same ego. The ego has the structure, and then the different culture, different religion supplies a different content, but the structure is the same. I have to be bigger, I have to be important, and so I have to put other people below me so that I can be high. And you
Or
see the
even
same
just
thing,
that
whether it's
they just want
right wing.
they want this basic lifestyle where they have a woman, where they have certain basic things.
And they get
But
to
it's
feel
not-
big.
Because of the way the world is structured, there's no way to achieve it. They aren't given the education, they aren't given the tools. But there are people who will find the tools. They'll find that they can find information that they need online. Once they can get a computer, they can learn. They don't need schools, they don't need teachers that aren't going to teach them anything.
Yeah.
They can create themselves as super beings, just like they see in the movies, but they can make a reality. They can create an exoskeleton. They'll be able to be.
But then, of course, we'll see the government
Take
having
what
to
the
match
government
that.
is already trying
Yeah,
to
so
do
they
it.
match it, and so then you have.
But the more that they do it, the more that the information becomes available, and the more that there will be rogue individuals. Just like the kid.
It's like
This is
that,
a
yeah.
good example of the kid who goes out and he robs a Porsche. Why does he have a gun on him? He doesn't have a gun on him because he's a bad guy. He has a gun because he lives in a neighborhood that is so tough that he needs to carry a gun in order to survive. He's just a kid. He wants to study. He wants to be on the football team. He can't be. He has to fight to get home at night. That's not a concept that most of us in the middle class world have to deal with. You don't have to fight to get home at night. You don't have to pull out a gun. So you can walk down the street.
This whole idea of Trump, like law and order, by ignoring the context that gives rise to people who are willing to put everything on the line for crimes. Like, no, this is something that we've created from this environment that we are responsible for, and you're not going to fix it by putting more police and more prisons. That's not.
You're going to find that the young kid who suddenly is arrested for stealing a car, he's chased in a high-speed chase, not killed but shot because he engaged in a shootout with police, and now he's going to have to be put in prison for 30 years. You know, he just wanted a car. He was carrying a gun because he needed to defend himself, and now because of his circumstances, he's in a bad situation. It's not going to be fixed. His life is shot.
And that happens every day.
That happens all the time. There's lots of kids going to prison, and even worse, there are kids that start off, their lives are taken from them. Why? Because they had maybe a gram of pot. And you know how much a gram is? Pot is legal. They had a gram of pot, and they're given a sentence because they suddenly sold that gram of pot for a few dollars to an undercover agent. Suddenly they're a career felon. And they spend, once they're put in the system, that's it. They have no citizenship at all. They can't vote, they can't work, there's no place to give them a job because they're a convicted felon. For what? A gram of pot that they tried to sell for $2.
And then Wells Fargo can build people out of tens of millions, hundreds of millions, I don't know how much it was. Slap on the hand, nobody's going to prison, nothing. It's ridiculous.
That's part of the ridiculous thing. But the new thing is the schools, the government is giving the schools laptops. So if you go to school, you'll be able to get a laptop. You'll be able to get online. The access to online knowledge isn't blocked.
Well,
MIT has all their courses for free.
Yeah, and you don't even need a laptop, a smartphone. You can do so much with just a phone these days. It's just
Yeah, but you can see visually very clear. If you have a really big access, but there's lots of ways to get access. Like I said, places like MIT are offering all their college courses online without cost.
It's an amazing time when we have these threats to our existence, like the bionic criminals, but we also have these potentials for the flattening of opportunities where people, regardless of means, can learn and get access to the highest quality education in the world.
If they can walk from school where they have to go unless they're without being congruent, and get home at night without getting busted for the weapon or no weapon, without getting busted for the extortion that they have to face on a daily basis. Rape. It's intense. I'm talking about male and female rape. It's intense. Just to be able to function. You know? In a tough world, most of us don't see that world, but it's there.
No, I mean, well, in Chicago too, these kids who have to like travel in packs in the middle of the street so that they can just try to protect themselves.
Just to get back and forth to school. If they don't go to school, they're truant, and even their parents can be put in jail. There's laws like that, where if you don't go to school, even your parents are subject to imprisonment in the county jail system because you didn't go to school. You know, so you have to get there. So that's the beginning part of the war right there. This is going to help create people that have exoskeletons, people that will create ways so that they can deal with this, so they can survive the system, a system that they didn't create, they're born into, a system of poverty, continuous poverty, because the education system is unfair.
That's ridiculous,
It's unfair. You're stuck going to a school where it's filled with people who are in desperate situations, that have no money, not even enough food to eat each day, and you have to survive that, and you have to go there. You have to sit with other kids that want to fight. There's the five passions: lust, anger, greed, pride, and attachment. And we're talking about those five passions.
I would say attachment is probably at the base of all of them.
Lust.
Attachment.
I lust. We're here not because for any other reason, but we lust.
Our parents lusted. That's what
We lust.
All right.
It's not that it's a bad thing. It's just part of our reality.
It is, yeah. All right. Can we get time out from the video because I want to.